Kumar Karanlaje, Honorable Minister of State for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and Labour and Employment. Madam plays a pivotal role in advancing India's socio-economic growth. Known for her dedication and pragmatic approach, she is committed to empower the workforce, enhancing entrepreneurship and supporting sustainable development in line with the vision of Viksit Bharat. Madam Minister, your vision inspired us and we eagerly await your opening remarks. Your dynamic leadership has always influenced us, and your forward-looking policies resonate with India's aspiration for a developed, equitable and sustainable future with a focus on inclusive growth, innovation and resilience. Through her stewardship, the dual focus on MSMEs and labour reforms is set to make a transformative impact on India's journey towards Viksit Bharat. Ma'am, I request you to please share your opening remarks with a big round of applause from our audience.
Namaskar to all. I hope you had your lunch and not sleeping now, right? Respected panelists, respected delegates from different countries, media friends, आप सबको देख के मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. Happy to see you all. Happy to speak you all. मुझे लग रहा है आज सुबह का प्रधानमंत्री जी का कार्यक्रम, उसका भाषण हम सबको प्रेरणा दिया है, प्रेरणा मिला है. Friends, you are the brand ambassadors of our country in foreign land. You are the ambassadors for yoga. Many of you are ambassadors for Ayurveda. You are the ambassador for our culture, our handicrafts, and Make in India products. Today our topic is breaking the barriers and the stories of migrant skills. हमारा बल क्या है, हमारा कमजोरी क्या है? What is our weakness and what is our strength? What is the barriers to achieve our goals for India and also for you? Indian diaspora in many countries, in all the countries, is a vibrant community. मैं आप सबको बधाई देती हूँ, धन्यवाद देती हूँ. सुबह प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बात रखे है. आपके कारण, आपका प्यार के कारण हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को आप अपने देश में दिए हुए रिसेप्शन के कारण, आपका यूनिटी के कारण भारत का प्रधानमंत्री जी को पूरा विश्व में इज्जत मिला, गौरव मिला. ये हमारा बहुत बड़ा पिछले 10 साल में हमारे देश को फायदा हुआ. मुझे लग रहा है आपको भी फायदा मिला होगा, आपको भी पहले से ज्यादा इज्जत मिला होगा, रिकॉग्निशन मिला होगा. मगर भारत में आपका कार्यक्रम के कारण इंडिया में एक पॉजिटिव वाइब्रेशन आया है बाहर के लोग एनआरआई इतना अच्छे कार्यक्रम कर सकते हैं, हम भी करना, इसे एक प्रेरणा भारत में हमारे यंगस्टर्स को मिला है। भारत में जनसंख्या एक समस्या भी है, एक ताकत भी है। We are speaking about skills and we are speaking about the workforce. भारत का वर्कफोर्स ज्यादा से ज्यादा अभी विदेश में है, अनस्किल्ड है। मुझे G20 ब्राजील में बहुत सारे देशवासी मिले, मिनिस्टर्स मिले। उन्होंने मुझे बोला, आप लेबर डिपार्टमेंट, एम्प्लॉयमेंट डिपार्टमेंट देखते हैं, आप लेबरर्स भेजना है तो स्किल्ड लेबरर्स को भेजिए, ट्रेनिंग करके भेजिए। इसी से लेबरर्स को भी फायदा होती है, ज्यादा सैलरी मिलता है, हमारा कंपनी को, हमारे देश को भी फायदा होता है ना, आपका देश को भी फायदा होता है। ऐसा बात को बहुत सारे देशवासी, भारत का अलग अलग देश का लेबर मिनिस्टर्स, एमएसएमई मिनिस्टर्स रखे हैं। लाइक वर्ल्ड इज नीड ऑफ स्किल्ड लेबरर्स, स्किल्ड वर्कफोर्स, प्रोफेशनल्स that can break the barriers of our workforce, our migrants. हमारे देश का जनसंख्या को हम कमजोरी नहीं समझना। मैं आपको विनती करती हूँ, आई रिक्वेस्टिंग यू, आप अपना देश में क्या कर सकते हैं वापस जाने के बाद? व्हाट यू कैन डू? प्लीज लिस्ट आउट व्हाट यू वांट। You can develop business on that basis. आपको अच्छा वर्कफोर्स चाहिए, जरूर हमको बताइए। हमारा डिपार्टमेंट, लेबर डिपार्टमेंट में, स्किल डेवलपमेंट में, आरडीपीआर में, अर्बन डेवलपमेंट, अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट में हम स्किल ट्रेनिंग दे रही है। वी आर ट्रेनिंग आवर पीपल, यंग जनरेशन। We are reskilling them, we are upskilling them. आपको ऐसा लेबर फोर्स चाहिए तो जरूर हमको बता सकते हैं। हमारे देश का बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है वो एग्रीकल्चर। एक कालखंड था हम बाहर से अनाज लाते थे। वी आर इंपोर्टिंग wheat, we are importing rice, we are importing many things. But now India is producing surplus cereals, surplus vegetables, surplus fruits. कोविड का संदर्भ में कौन कौन क्या क्या मांगा हम भेजे हैं। We exported cereals, we exported milk, we exported fruits, we exported vegetables for the needy countries. We exported pharmaceuticals. We exported vaccines. This is the strength of our country now. We got human resources. We got resources. So, you can make use of that in your country where you stay. आप उसके हिसाब से बिजनेस बना सकते हैं, उसको आप आगे कर सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं मानती हूं हमारा पॉपुलेशन को हम ताकत में परिवर्तन करना, हमारा शक्ति से शक्ति परिवर्तन करना। बहुत सारे देश नर्सेस को मांग रहे हैं, हम उतना नर्सेस दे नहीं सकते। बहुत सारे देश टेक्नीशियंस को मांग रहे हैं, हम उतना एक्सपोर्ट नहीं कर सकते. We cannot send that much of nurses, that much number of technicians, doctors. I went to North Norfolk in England. Each and every house I visited, I went for the election purpose, for parliamentary election exchange program. Each and every house they were asking for doctors. आप डॉक्टर्स भेजिए इंडिया से, नर्सेस भेजिए. इधर पूरा बुढ़े लोग हैं, एक भी नौजवान नहीं है हमारे गांव में. इसलिए हमको नर्सेस चाहिए, डॉक्टर्स चाहिए. इसीलिए हमारे नौजवानों को ऐसे तैयारी करने को हम सोचना चाहिए. मैं अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट में भारत सरकार ऐसे कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं, हमारा राज्य सरकार ऐसे कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं. इसलिए आपको मैं विनती कर रही हूं, जरूर आप एक बार आपका डायस्पोरा के साथ आपका बिजनेसमैन सब बैठना, आपके लिए क्या चाहिए, आपका देश के लिए क्या चाहिए, इसी से आपको कैसे फायदा होगा और भारत को कैसा फायदा होगा, इसको सोचना चाहिए. ऐसे मैंने मांग रखती हूं. आज का सेशन में बहुत सारे पैनलिस्ट है, ज्यादा बोलने का नहीं. हम योगा को उधर योगा टीचर्स को हम भेज सकते हैं, आयुर्वेद डॉक्टर्स को भेज सकते हैं. हम स्पिरिचुअलिटी से बहुत आगे है. हमारे माता अमृतानंदमयी, रविशंकर गुरु जी, सदगुरु जग्गी बाबा, ऐसे बहुत सारे इस्कॉन, ऐसे लोग स्पिरिचुअलिटी का स्प्रेड उधर कर रहे हैं. उसके लिए हम बहुत सारे कर सकते हैं. फूड, टेक्सटाइल्स, हैंडक्राफ्ट्स, ऐसे सारे विषय में आपका देश में हम स्प्रेड करने का, उसके विषय में बात करने का, उसके विषय को सोचने का, उसके विषय में बिजनेस बनाने को हम जरूर सोचते हैं. इसीलिए जरूर हमारा पैनलिस्ट इसका विषय में ज्यादा बोलेंगे. मुरलीधर जी है, वो एक्सपीरियंस्ड है, पहले मंत्री रहे हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसा प्रोग्राम प्रवासी भारतीयों का प्रोग्राम उन्होंने किया है. इसके लिए आप सबको मैंने बहुत बधाई देती हूं, क्योंकि आप हमारा देश 2047 में विकसित भारत होना प्रधानमंत्री जी का लक्ष्य है. सुबह हम सुने हैं, भारत का विकसित होने से सबको फायदा होगा, क्योंकि तब विश्व में कोई देश समस्या में था, तब भारत मदद किया. वी हेल्प्ड all around, all the countries when they are in problem. इसीलिए भारत विकसित होने से जरूर हम सब विकसित हो जाएंगे. देश को फायदा है, ऐसे विश्व को भी फायदा है. हम साथ मिलके भारत को विकसित भारत बनाएंगे, क्योंकि आपका मदर रूट एक भारत का गांव में है, एक शहर में है. आप किधर भी हो, बट आपका रूट है भारत, आपका रूट है भारत का गांव, भारत का शहर है. इसलिए हम सब मिलके भारत को विकसित भारत बनाएंगे. आप सबका मदद चाहिए. एंड ये जर्नी में आपका पार्टनर्स होना बहुत जरूरत है. ऐसे बात रखती हूँ मेरे पैनलिस्ट को. इसके विषय में हम कैसे हमारा बैरियर्स को ब्रेक करेंगे, हम कैसे विश्व को भारत का शक्ति दिखाएंगे, एंड क्या क्या स्किल्स हम दे सकते हैं, इसके विषय में जरूर वो बात रखेंगे. एंड मुझे लग रहा है आप भी कुछ बोलना चाहते तो जरूर आपका सुझाव हम मांगेंगे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.
Thank you, ma'am, for setting the tone so beautifully. Now it's my privilege to introduce once again our esteemed moderator of this session, Sri P. Kumaran, Special Secretary, Economic Relations and DPA, MEA. With his deep understanding of global dynamics and diplomacy, he is perfectly poised to steer this discussion. Sir, we are excited to have you lead this session. Now I hand over the floor to our moderator, Sri P. Kumaran sir, to take this discussion forward. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mominji. The way I plan to structure this panel discussion is to try and make a few general remarks in the beginning, and then I will, ask each of the panelists to try and speak for about 8 minutes, and then we open up further discussions to have a second round of opinions from the various panelists, and then towards the end, if we have time, we will try and take a few questions from the audience. So thank you, welcome, Madam Minister, Muralidharan sir, our former MOS from the Ministry of External Affairs, esteemed panelists from various parts of the world, welcome, and it's indeed a pleasure to moderate this discussion and to try and get a series of perspectives from the diaspora in various countries. Let me try and provide a brief background on migration and migrants in general and the drivers that motivated migration over the years. Migrants are a small share of the world population, but their weight has grown only over time. By the late 19th century, international migrants represented 14% of humanity. That is about 225 million out of a total of 1.6 billion people. But about a century later, in the beginning of the 21st century, the number stands at just over 300 million migrants out of a global population of about 8 billion, representing a lower share of just about 3%. Migrants represent about 10% of global GDP, including about $550 billion in annual remittances estimated in 2019. We do not have a global binding migration framework, but there are deeply rooted regional patterns in the flow of people shaped by family histories, business needs, and cultural preferences. The following are the key forces shaping migration and indeed human geography. Demographics, which includes imbalances between an aging north and a youthful south. Politics, this includes refugees and asylum seekers from civil wars and failing states, as well as those fleeing ethnic persecution or populism. Economics, this could include migrants in search of opportunities, workers in search of employment, etc. Technology, this could include factors such as industrial automation, displacing factory and logistics jobs, while algorithms and artificial intelligence make some skilled jobs redundant. It also could be driven by climate, long-term phenomena such as rising temperatures and therefore sea levels and water tables, and also seasonal disasters like floods, typhoons, and other climate disasters. In the past, the main drivers of migration were colonial links, regional cultural links, and economic opportunities in dynamic economies open to migration. In the future, however, the new drivers of migration could be climate change, driven by warming of the northern regions, making them more habitable, changes in regional resource endowments, such as due to the phasing out of fossil fuels, new and renewable fuels, new technologies, materials, etc., and aging societies in the global north requiring support due to higher tax and pension burdens, shortage of skills, etc., which the Honorable Minister had just mentioned. These variables also interact in complex ways, driving migration individually and also together. The future of human mobility points in just one direction, shifting from south to north, from coast to inland, from low-lying to higher elevations, from overpriced to affordable, and from failing to stable societies. The Indian diaspora is one of the largest in the world, estimated at 30 million, and they have transformed every part of the world they have touched, enhanced understanding of India, spread awareness of Indian culture, food, vegetarianism, arts, music, dance, yoga, and also enrich their host countries in addition to building bridges between the host countries and India. In many places, they are a model community given their grounding in India as a tolerant people brought up with a democratic ethos. Many countries have aging populations, as I just mentioned. India still has a youthful population and will benefit from a demographic dividend for about 25 years more at least. We have therefore been pursuing migration and mobility partnerships with as many countries as possible. One key factor that requires to be stated and understood well is that the Indian diaspora and migrants in general have mirrored India's growth and success, and they have mutually reinforced each other. India's success has strengthened the hands of the diaspora, and the success of the diaspora has strengthened India and helped India in its development journey. We have a good cross-section of the Indian diaspora on this panel. Some of our panelists are known to me. Mr. Swapnendu Mohanty from Singapore was known to me during my posting in Singapore. Mr. Mago was known to me from my time in Washington. So I look forward to having a conversation with them and with the others. There has also been a trend towards increasing conservatism in global politics, one consequence of which is the retreat of globalization. This has been compounded by the effects of the pandemic, more geopolitical upheavals, and a surge in refugee populations, the slowdown of growth in most major economies, and also heightened national security concerns. All this has created temporary pressures from time to time against migration. So we will be discussing how all this is playing out in various countries where our panelists live. Let me start with Shri V. Muralidharan, former Minister of State at the Ministry of External Affairs. Sir, you have covered a wide variety of countries. You have visited Singapore during my time as High Commissioner. You have a deep understanding of the Indian community in the Middle East, given your own number of journeys and extensive personal connections. So I want to try and broadly request you to tell us about what makes Kerala tick in the Middle East and how the presence of Malayalis have increased over the years, and how the composition of the Indian diaspora in the Middle East has changed over time. What changes do you foresee with increasing competition from other low-wage countries, automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, etc.? Should we be investing in any particular skills as part of our skill development programs? How do we provide better orientation for our workers before they go abroad for work? How can we reform our e-migrate system to unite the skilling ecosystem with the education ecosystem, with the domestic employment ecosystem and the foreign employment ecosystem? And also the challenges that you visualize as Indian communities become large. Our consular needs increase. We may have challenges relating to evacuating larger communities in the case of geopolitical challenges, and also unique, very rare difficulties such as COVID. So over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister Shobha Karandalaje ji, the moderator of this session, Shri Kumaram ji, other co-panelists, the delegates who have come from across the world, namaskaram to all of you. It's I should say that I'm extremely happy to be here on a very interesting topic, very significant topic: building bridges, breaking barriers, stories of migrant skills. In fact, the idea of building bridges connects deeply with me, because during the last 5 years till May, the 5 years I had the opportunity to visit almost 60 countries in the world, mostly of Middle East and Africa or the eastern part of India, and of course meet with the diaspora, meet with the members of the community, understand the issues they face. And I would also say that migration is not a new phenomenon. Migration is as old as human history. In fact, it is in the humanity's DNA to explore. There are two types of migrations as mentioned by the Honorable Minister as well as the moderator. One is a forced migration. Under compulsions, people seek asylum and then go elsewhere. That's one part of thing. I will not touch upon those issues. I would like to focus on the other migration, which is basically what I mentioned, to explore new avenues, to search for better opportunities. That is the migration which is benefiting everyone. As Honorable Minister mentioned, it benefits the individual, it benefits the country from where the migration happens, it benefits the country from where the migrant goes. And as of now, India has the largest diaspora of 32 million people living across the globe. And the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Modi ji, he always mentioned about India's unique strength. That is diaspora, that is demography, democracy and diversity. These are the three major features which can be considered as the strength of India. And now when we look at the present scenario, Prime Minister has been always saying that he wants to make, or we want to become the skill capital of the world. Because on the one hand, we see an aging population, whether it is Europe, Korea or Japan. And on the other hand, we have the largest youth manpower in the whole world. 65% of India's population is below the age of 35. So naturally in the coming years, we have a very large opportunity with us. And I would say that when we look at the figures, according to the World Migration Report of 2024, World Migration Report of 2024 says that the international remittances went up almost 700% from 2000 to 2024. And in that, the major share is of India. India is getting out of the total of around 800, somewhere around 800 to 900 billion dollars. India gets 125 billion dollars. So India has a major say, major benefit out of that. But when we look into the details of that, I would say that Government of India has always taken the position that the government is for safe and orderly migration. We are not against migration. We, in fact, would like to see that people go to various places, people try for better opportunities, people search for avenues, people explore their options, and it has to become an organic migration. It has to become transparent. It has to be, and in fact the e-migrate that was initiated in 2014, it has made the migration, the aspect of migration, transparent as well as accessible. Now when we look into the details of the migration, I have felt, especially when I go to the Middle East, there are different type of communities, different type of individuals who migrate. They have to be, and their issues are different, the problems they face are different. One is the blue-collared labor class, which one can say the labor class of the blue-collared thing. Second category is the middle-level management or people who are in middle-level jobs. The third is the professionals. And the fourth is the businessmen who are into big businesses, traders. So the issues faced by all the four are different. All the four face issues. I wouldn't say that the businessmen, they are for them, they are very safe, they don't have any problem. No, they have their own problems. Professionals have their own problems. The middle order or the such people, they have their own problems. And the blue collar people